Hello everyone, with Mr. Rahul Waghmare, founder of Aqualib Guitars, and he's one of the foremost luthiers in the country, India. And he builds really beautiful guitars. And today we are going to explore more behind his workflow, his process, and overall his mind. We want to see from his perspective what is it like pursuing this craft, this rare craft of building guitars in India. So, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Hello, Sid. Thank you for letting me into the interview, and very glad to share my workshop and my building methodology so that lots of newcomers will come to know why handmade, what is the difference between handmade guitars and factory made guitars. So I'm very highly obliged that you called me for this interview. So let's speak and see hobby. Guitar building is like I came into like necessity is mother of invention. I wanted a good guitar for myself, but it was not available in around 1999, in the year 1999. I wanted a good guitar at that time. I was learning guitar, but I saw an Alhambra website. Website culture was just going on at that time. So I saw Alhambra website. It was 1.5 lakh rupees guitar in the year 1999. So I dropped the idea at that time. And then when I learned guitar after a few years, I thought I should build myself. I should go for a good guitar. Then again, the cost was very high. So I thought to give it a try myself. And since my childhood, I'm a very curious and inventive person. I always like to experiment with all of the things. That's why my family was always worried of my nature and and for the all trouble I gave to them in the whole life. So that's the journey. See, passion towards profession is the main journey of mine.
How beautiful. Uh, so when was the first time you thought that you built a guitar and you were so happy with the result that you thought, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do it.
Yeah, same happened around 10 years later on. In 2010, I came across my favorite song, Hotel California and Maria Maria by Santana. And again, it struck me back that I should start again build good classical guitars. So I thought to give myself a try. Watched lots of YouTube videos, and I thought that I can build it myself. Since my childhood, I was a very inventive kind of person. So I thought, why not give it a try? And it took me around 11 months to build my first classical guitar because
That's
internet was not prevalent, YouTube was not prevalent at that time. So gathering information from here and there and importing things, I went through lots of difficulties, but my family supported it, and due to their support, I built around 11 months a guitar after 11 months, and it was really up to my expectations. Means it was not so perfect guitar, we can honestly, since it was my first build, but all the other aspects like intonation, action, the tonal quality, it was near to be perfect. It was not very perfect, but it gave me confidence that I can do much more better in my next guitar. So at that time, it was in 2010. I started in 2009 and it was completed in 2010. And on the Diwali vacation, I played its first note. So I fully concentrated on building guitars until yet it's had been past 16 years, 15 to 16 years, I'm building guitars only on orders.
That's beautiful. So, Mr. Wagmare, so when you see a guitar, what makes a good classical guitar for you? Because there are so many guitars available. We have factory-made Alhambra instruments. We have Cordoba series. We have the Yamaha. And so when you see the
Yes.
guitar, what for you makes a good guitar? What is a
See,
good classical
we
guitar?
can't specifically define it as a good guitar. See, every player has its own choice, the tone in their own mind, the playability. So some people plays Bach, some people plays Beethoven, and lots of different composers. So in my sense, there is no perfect or no good guitar. The player should be happy with what he has got and what he wants. If I am able to deliver that result, only the customer will say that it is good guitar. If suppose you are into spruce guitars, then you won't like cedar top guitars. And if you're a
Absolutely.
cedar player, you might not like. spruce top guitars. But there is no specific definition. But lots of things depends on the factors like the top of the tone wood of the guitar, the back and sides, the fretboards. So there are various aspects that we come to know. But a true classical guitar of means we can say of my choice is a German spruce top, Indian red cedar back and sides. Sorry, Indian rosewood back and sides, a mahogany neck is a good combination in my opinion. But again, I'm saying it's just my own liking. You might like a cedar top guitar, but there is no specific term in my sense that it's a good classical guitar. But the technical aspects, you should always observe the technical aspects that what if the action is perfect for a player, the intonation we can say. Because for a beginner, intonation doesn't matter in beginner guitars. We can say, as you said, like in factory produced. Some guitars have intonation issues, but a luthier made guitar should be almost 99.99 perfect in intonation.
So now I would like to ask you about, we have the beginners guitars and the professional instruments. What is the
Yes.
key difference? Very very fundamental terms. What is the key difference between the two?
Key difference in beginner guitars, the sometimes solid top is used. It's optional, but for backend sides, it is always laminated wood. So laminated wood means it is made up of three layers. We can say it's a plywood kind of thing. So it is made up of a face, which can be rosewood or a sapele or mahogany, any kind of face. Then in core they use a softer material, and for inner layer they use a different kind of hardwood. So it sandwiches for a three layer, and which reduces the cost. So to make it cost effective, so I have one thing to show you. So let me show. See, this is a rim, a classical guitar I am building. It is having sapele face. You can see. Can you see? It's a face is sapele, but it is laminated. You can see there are. This is sapele from outside, and this is different wood from inside.
I see.
Can you see?
Yes,
So
yes.
it is all laminated wood. So it is three layers of lamination is done to reduce the cost because sapele wood is not solid. It is not solid. It is just a face. It is 0.3 mm to 0.5 mm thin paper veneer we can say. But just to give a look of a sapele, but it doesn't contribute to the sound. So this is again the same thing. This is the back. See, this is sapele back. There is a different core in between.
Oh,
See. Uh-huh. And this is the other third layer of a wood. This is different, and this is different. So it is a laminated wood to reduce the cost. For mass-produced guitar, mostly use this, but do other high-end guitar manufacturer like Martin, Taylor, they use solid wood guitars. I will show you solid. What is solid Indian rosewood? So this is a solid Indian rosewood, which I export to luthiers, as I said. So this is hand bent and sometimes on jig also. See, you can see there is no layers. It is full wood. It is full wood rosewood. So this is the rosewood. Outside also same, inside also same, and there is no laminations in this. So it is made of 2 mm is full of full rosewood. So this is called solid wood. So that is the most difference which contributes to the sound of a guitar. See, this is rosewood back. This is rosewood. So that's why the high-end guitars or solid wood guitars are costly because this wood is very costly to procure also, and it is specifically made in a quarter cut in which around 60% wood from a log is wasted. So this increases the cost for luthiery grade instruments. The wood is costly, not for furniture grades. Full solid wood. It is one wood, and this is a plywood. This is plywood.
of course.
Yeah. So for professional player, I would suggest at least you should go for a solid top guitars. As I said, 80% of our sound is contributed from the top of a guitar. But when you want to upgrade or you want to be a professional player or you want to give graded exams, you should opt for at least for solid back. I have introduced a hybrid concept in which top is solid, back is solid, but sides are laminated, which drastically decreases the cost because lots of time is saved for me to bend the sides, to thickness the sides, to bend the sides. So it decreases the cost. So it is a mid concept, like in between a solid top and full solid guitar. I've introduced a hybrid concept.
That's amazing.
So
So, yeah, to think that to get even the width of that wood would be a challenge,
yeah,
which
it
is
is difficult. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Speaking of this, we move on to beginner's guitar. So,
Yeah.
you mentioned about the intonation and about the playability,
Mm.
and uh, what is your belief about this? Do you think that the beginners should have the best guitar at their disposal, which would even instigate them further to learn more?
Yeah, of course. This is one of the best question, and this is one of the perfect question you asked me. Because see, in my experience, according to Indian mentality, and we can say of Western mentality, so in Indian mentality, people just want to buy cheap guitar. They want their child to learn on very cheap guitar. We can say Calcutta made or factory made guitars. And when our kid will learn better, and if he starts to learning, and if he gets starting getting interest in the guitar, then we will upgrade to a good guitar. But it exactly opposite in reality. When you buy a cheap guitar, the fingers of the player or the child is are very soft. The fingertips are very soft. So they start with C string guitar. So that's the biggest mistake. So you should always start learning with classical guitar. And the action should be perfect. If the action is very high, their fingers will be paining, their wrist will be paining, and in that long run or means they are just beginners. They don't know how to and where to go. It is a responsibility of the teacher, music teacher, to buy a good guitar. So main aspects of a beginner guitar is that you should buy a good guitar with good action, with good intonation and good sustain, so that the he will eventually like the melody of the guitar. That is the most important part, that the person should enjoy his learning, he should love his learning. And if he's finding it difficult to play, if his fingers are paining, his wrist is paining, so they will eventually lose the interest, and a good talent is lost by the parents mentality, we can say. So I would always suggest for a beginner to, I'm not saying you should buy a best guitar, but at least you should buy a good guitar which is having good action, intonation, and playability. The shape of the neck is also important. Again, in your fingers, my fingers are very short, so I need a little bit narrow fretboard, which is not available in factory-made guitars. They have standard measurements, and they will go with only standard measurements. So beginners, I would say that you should get a good guitar, and after learning a guitar, you can definitely go for any cheap guitar.
That's very interesting to know. Although I'm sure that there are many people who started out on a bad instrument and made their way up.
Yes, yes, but see, I'm not saying that they lose the interest or they will leave guitar playing, but the learning curve will be shortened, in my opinion. If you have a good guitar, then you can learn it very easily. See, if you want to learn a sword, playing sword, you can't learn with a knife or a stick. You should
Yes,
have proper tool in your hand. If unless and until, if suppose I don't have good tools, good chisels in my hand, I won't be able to work in proper way. It will take up my time, and it will increase my irritation, and sometimes I might leave that job. But if I
absolutely.
have good, if I have good tools, if you have good guitar in your hand, it shortens your learning curve. It increases your interest and increases your palate also.
Absolutely. So, speaking of, this, adding to this, do you believe that guitars have personalities to them, or do you believe that guitars are all neutral and the
No,
player
no,
will
no, no, no.
uh,
I don't believe that. See, each and every as our hand is having five different fingers, so of course, and the guitars do have each guitar have a personality. None of my guitars will sound same. Not only of my guitars, in any luthier made guitars, none of the guitars will sound same, because there are a lot of factors like density of a wood, the bracing pattern of the wood, the thickness of the wood. So that is technical concepts, we can come to it later on. But guitars do have their own personality, and even a player is having a good personality. If a good that a player, if suppose there is a Paquito Lucia, he can play my guitar in such a way that I can't imagine.
true.
Even though it depends on the player also, not only on guitar. If you are giving a 10 lakh rupees guitar for a beginner, it won't sound that good as you will play yourself, and you know it very well. So, but the guitars do have personality.
That's very true. That's very true, and I'm glad you pointed that out. So you do not aim for this sort of neutrality in the sound when you
No,
build.
no.
Yeah.
See, as I'm into custom building guitars, everyone's has his personal choice, the taste or the idea of tone, we can say. So many people wants a warm sound. Many people want bright sound. Some wants a neutral sound, some might wants better trebles, but classical guitar is little bit difficult for getting out, making the basses and the trebles sing very well rather than steel string guitar. I will show you an example. Just a moment. This is OM guitar I'm building for one of my friend in Kolkata. This is OM size guitar. It is having laminated backs, laminated sides, but it is solid back. So he wants it a little bit bright sound. So we opted for this spruce top. So you can see how can you hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it faintly.
Faintly, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is for bright sound. And again, this guitar, this guitar I am building for one of my friend who wants it warm sound. So we opted for the Engelmann spruce.
I see.
So Engelmann spruce gives it is a double O size concert guitar. So this is having a little bit warm sound. So you will enjoy this sound. See, as I said, that each and every customer is having his own choice. So you want warm, you want mellow, you want bright, or you want good projection. So, we have to.
Which is what I wanted to ask. So,
Mm.
do you have an ideal sound in your mind before you
Mm.
start the build, or do you make the guitar and
No, actually, when a customer approaches me, I always ask his type of playing, what kind of pieces he plays, what kind, whether he's playing is for himself or he's playing in studios or in open ventures like gigs or something like that. And I always ask for demo videos that what he wants, what sound he wants. So each guitar is designed according to the personal choice or the tone of the player. So that is what I don't decide in myself. I taking lots of inputs after having lots of discussions. Then we come to a point that you want this kind of sound, or we can say many people are interested only in leads because they want to record. So they are into saying that we don't want overtone in our guitars. We want a clean sound. So we opt for cedar top guitar. So again, it is not in my mind. After lots of discussions with the customers' playability, we come to a certain point that we can go for this and these combinations.
I see. Now, you showed us the OM size models, and so
Yeah,
these are acoustic instruments. These are
acoustic. Yeah, yeah,
steel strings instruments.
yeah.
So,
So you want to see a classical guitar?
yeah, so what I would like to know more about is voicing of the soundboards. I think that's a crucial, or rather my question
Yeah.
was,
Yeah. Okay.
my question was, what is, what do you feel is the most crucial step in the whole build process?
See, yeah, that is a really very good question, and all people should know. Why, what is the difference between a factory-made guitar and what is the difference between a handmade guitar? So, 80% of the soundboard of a guitar, sound of a guitar comes from the top of a guitar. So, we have to measure the thickness, the deflection, the tone of the guitar by tap tuning. Then we have to brace it accordingly. Then we have to carve the braces, which is called voicing. That is the most important part of a guitar top, and it dominates or decides the tone of a guitar. So just a moment, I will show you a guitar bracing, how we carve the bracing, and what kind of methodology we use it. See, this is an Engelsman spruce again. This is a Ramirez bracing.
Fan bracing.
Yeah, this is fan bracing, but this is based on Ramirez model. So this can you see these are the small bracings or woods uh, we have glued it pieces of wood. So again, I will come to that technical aspects so that you will come to know. See, major part is the density of a wood. We have to measure down the density of the wood. That means the weight of a wood. It's a calculation. You know that each and every material is having its specific density. So, in factory-made guitars, all wood are treated as same. But see, when a tree is cut down, lots of soundboards or lot of back-end sets have been manufactured from that. So we call them brother sets because they are from same mother. So it's from the same tree, so it's from the same mother. So we call it brother sets. So each and every set of a guitar is sound different. Their density is different, even though they are from the same mother. Like say, we can say if we have two brothers or sisters, they won't be looking alike. So in the same way, the density is not same. So after deciding the top, we join the top. Then we measure down the density. we calculate the density of the wood by some calculations, and then we want a guitar top in certain range of that density. And after selecting that we glue down these braces, and after braces we carve down the braces to sound it musically. So again, this is we can say a part of argument, or every person has this different building methodology. So many people do this tap tuning, how it sounds. There is qualitative and quantitative analysis in technical term, we can say. So this is quality. So this note is ringing in my ear since, and it is again upon the experience of a luthier. Then we have to carve down these braces to come to that frequency, which is a qualitative thing. But there is another method called deflection method and frequency analysis method. Shall I show you that technical thing?
Of course.
See, we have made this jig, which is a testing method. It is a, we can say this is quantitative measurement. So there is a pin here and there are two slats. Then we rest this soundboard on this top. Can you see it?
Yes.
And again, there is a calculation that I learned from many luthiers, that what should be the deflection, how much it should deflect under certain weight. Suppose we keep this weight, it's around 180 gram, and how much it should deflect. If suppose if it is deflecting 1 mm, so it should deflect to a certain dome, we can say, or it should deflect. See, can you see here? When I touch, the caliper is moving.
So now, coming back to the methods of building, there are various methods, or various schools of luthiery.
Yeah.
So do you identify yourself as belonging to a certain school, like for example, say the Australian building, or the German school of building, or the traditional Spanish
Yeah,
builders?
see, again, I'm a self-taught luthier. So that is also very important. Initially, actually, I started, there was no one in India to teach luthiery. So I started searching lots of YouTube videos, and I came to know that Indian rosewood is one of the most exported wood from India. So I thought, why not give it a try? So we should, because there was no one in India. So I just wanted to get in touch with the luthiers just to collect knowledge from them, that how to build guitars or how to build good guitars. So I started exporting tone woods as my hobby. Or we can say how, not hobby, it was necessary to learn from the luthiers. Then I gained good relations with lots of luthiers. In my Facebook, there are around 5,000 friends. Among them, 4,000 are luthiers. So I'm very lucky that lots of reputed luthiers are my friend, like Michael Thames, Ben Wilborn, Jeff Javid, and Graham Ames, Aaron Green, who builds Peter Siorba, who are reputed classical luthiers, classical guitar luthiers. So I learned lots of knowledge from various luthiers and various sources. Um, my main motto or intention of exporting tone woods was just to get in acquaintance with these luthiers, and they can share me the knowledge. And lots of luthiers have shared their personal secrets with me, which I may not be able to describe on the camera, but I'm really obliged to all these luthiers who has helped me a lot in this 15 years of experience in my luthiery. They have a huge contribution in my knowledge.
That's very nice. And so your school is an amalgamation of all these.
Yes, amalgamation. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We can say khichdi type of knowledge, but see, until and unless the end part is what is the happy ending is that you want a good sounding guitar. And as I said, the qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis, they have a common point. Either you go by tap tuning, the guitar will deflect to same deflection. If you go by deflection and by tapping, it will come to the same note. So
That's
the end result is the same by any kind of method you use for voicing a soundboard, but the end result is same.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So now, I would like to shed some light about your background. Like, so for example, you are also an engineer and also a lawyer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So that is the I can't say saddest moment, but I thank to my parents. See, I am born and raised in a typical Indian middle class family. That around in 1996 or 97, there are only two options. You will get to medical or you will get into engineering. No one has had thought out of the box kind of education thing. So my father wanted me to be a computer engineer because computer engineering was very prevalent at that time. So I completed my computer science software. So I am a certified software engineer. But since I was musician by heart since my childhood, I've heard guitar in my childhood, so I wanted to be guitarist. But so I was not happy or satisfied with my education. So I talked with my mom. I don't want to continue this. My mom said, I want you to be a lawyer. We can say I am a lawyer. I can use as a BSL law graduate. But again, after completing my lawyer degree, I said to my mom, I am not happy with this also. Just for your sake, I completed my LLB. But the computer engineering as well, my LLB background helped me a lot in my guitar building. Since I was a technical person, I was very acquainted with designing guitars using AutoCAD softwares, using CNC machine designing programming. And in LLB, I came to use my logic and practicality because in lawyer field you know that practicality is very much important and you should use your logic and use your connecting points. Array, it's an investigative kind of thing. Guitar building is also where I'm going wrong, so we have to able to correct. So this thinking was developed by my LLB degree also. So I am thanking to my parents to give me this kind of education, and I also thank to them that they allowed me to pursue this profession. This is quite complete different field, and many players say that Rahul, you are leaving, you are doing a dream job of ours. I am very lucky in that field.
And I think you also, sorry to cut you off, I think you also had a brief stint into business.
Yeah. I was having construction business with my brother.
Yeah.
So I had done around 4 to 5 years that construction business. But again, I said I was a musician by heart since my childhood. So I used to build guitars for my referential clients, for my friends and reference of friends. But after lockdown, I stopped everything and I thought to continue my profession as my passion as my profession.
Building guitar in India, what are these setbacks you face? This and in general, what are the setbacks you have faced or the challenges you have faced building guitars in India?
Yeah. This is a very most important question and a pivoting point of my life. See, after telling people my qualification, education, qualification background, they said, have you gone mad? I said, why? What happened? So, see, you are a computer engineer, you are saying you are an LLB graduate and doing something different kind of field, which is again going against the tide. So I was not always, I didn't like to go with the flow since my childhood. I always wanted to do something different, but it does challenge me in many ways. People used to think that I am mad or I am an idiot. I am learning something different and I am doing something different. But I always wanted to follow my heart rather than my brain. So I don't know what clicked me, but I am really thankful to God that I am into guitar building. I feel very lucky that very few people pursue it as a passion. Sorry, as a profession. From passion to profession, it was a difficult period. But see, everyone has a tough time in their life. And we have to go through. Even your parents might have faced some difficulties. My parents have faced difficulties. I have faced some difficulties, but let's go ahead. So it is an evolution. We can say it's a journey. Yes. I can't say that there is no stop or stop point that at this point I can say I can't go beyond this level. So it is in everyone's field, or it is initially when you play, you might have started playing. You are not good player at all, but I know you are a good player currently. And from today, after 5 years, you will be the best.
I touch wood. Yeah. Now, now I'd like to move on to the design process. I mean, many people just see the six strings on the outside and the sound hole, but a lot goes into it, right? As you just showed,
Yeah.
So my question is, do you think that the modern build concepts, like for example double tops, or for example lattice braced instruments, the Australian school where you have the heavy sides and the thin top,
Yes.
Do you think these things can surpass the Torres construction in a way, or how do you see the guitar go in 50 years time? How do you see the instrument change?
See, according, see, it's an evolution, as I said. We have to adapt new technologies. We have to adapt new materials also for using building guitars. Previously, we used gut strings were used for historical instruments. Then we shifted to nylon. Then we shifted to carbon fiber. So this is an evolution process that we have to adapt according to what is the best available. Previously, people used hide glue. Nowadays, also traditional hide glue is used, but I am into more traditional kind of thing. But I do adopt some unconventional things or modern technologies like using carbon fiber rod in the neck or double top balsa. We can say cedar balsa and spruce combination. And we have to adapt different type of glues also, because glues also play important role. The water we have to use pu glue for double
So,
top.
so a layered
We
top, a layered balsa in the middle, and you have a
Yes.
sandwich top.
Yeah, it's a sandwich top, we can say. It is sandwich of three tops. Either you can go for any kind of combination.
So you prefer that construction? You do that?
No, no, I have not. I don't. I prefer tradition also, but I have to switch.
So, how much of the sound actually comes from the design, and how much comes from the wood? You know, as you mentioned, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the.
That is also we can say. See, guitar is not a one part instrument. Each and every part of a guitar is related to each other, and it definitely contributes to the sound. So design, I don't know why they call it classical guitar, but it was designed in the waist of a woman. It was designed like a body of a woman. So when you go, if you want a strong and rhythmic sound, we go for a bigger body size like Jumbo or SG200 or Dreadnought in shorter terms. So they are good for rhythms. They are not good for leads. And for leads, we go for smaller instruments like double O. As I said, showed you the OM. OM is kind of a most versatile instrument. We can play both leads as well as rhythm also on that guitar. So definitely, both of these things are interrelated to each other. So there is no specific answer if the sound is dominated by design or dominated by material. But most of the times, or we can say, I accepted that woods do have major contribution rather than the design.
So, if there is a single part on the guitar which is most acoustically important, what would you single it down to?
That is the top. See, initially I said soundboard of a 80% of a sound comes from the top of a guitar. So that is the most important. But the most important thing is voicing the braces. You might have heard voicing or carving the top from me many times. That is the most important aspect that a luthier should gain a knowledge in that. See, I have, as I said, that I'm in touch with many luthiers. So main or the important part is the top, and apart from that, voicing the top is the most important part of guitar building.
Absolutely, and it is such a meticulous process because you're just removing layers of wood.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes. If
uh,
time is not permitting us, otherwise I would have showed you that proper technical thing. But better luck next time we can do arrange a small voicing top podcast on
maybe,
voicing the
yeah,
top,
yeah,
or
yeah.
at least a small synopsis of that, ki how we and why we charge, why luthiers charge more than factory made guitars.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I have a few more questions, and I
Yes.
think I should just go with it directly.
Hmm.
So, how long does it take for a guitar to break in, so to speak, so or to reveal its true
Yeah, that
voice?
is also
You
very
know,
important. So I think you have learned Luthiery in depth, at least theoretically. That's why you are asking so important questions. So break-in period. See, a break-in period depends on the soundboard torrefaction or the soundboard seasoning. But spruce guitar do take minimum 6 months to open up. But cedar tops are guitar almost opened up immediately. So, but only spruce top takes, again, it takes from 6 months, 3 months to 6 months, or sometimes years also.
yes.
As I came to know from luthiers. But the soundboard should be well seasoned, air dried, and it should have proper right moisture content.
Does it change because the wood dries over time, or does it change because
Yes, yes. See, this is also again important point. See, wood is hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic meaning it has a tendency to absorb water
absorb water? Yeah.
and release water. So as I said, the humidity is the enemy of guitar building. We should follow right humidity. You should follow right humidity in your workshop. Also, the moisture content of the wood. It should be in the range of 8 to 10%, which is air dried. Or we have some other method like torrefaction. Or sometimes I do cook my tops in oven or the bracing in the oven so that it evaporates moisture rapidly. So important part is of humidity is that the humidity should be in between 40 to 60%. And currently I will show you the humidity of my workshop. Yeah, so can you see it is 48% now.
Oh, that's ideal, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, that is ideal. So minimum is 40% to 60% maximum.
So how do you maintain that humidity in your workshop?
In my workshop, see, currently no need to maintain. But when there is high humidity, I have a dehumidifier with me. So and in monsoon, I mostly stop guitar building because I can't control the humidity. Because after losing the moisture content, the top has a tendency to break or crack while losing the moisture. So in monsoon period, I stopped building guitars around 3 to 4 months. My workshop is closed down. It's not totally closed down, but I don't work on guitars. I work on building jigs and other building other instruments. And if the humidity is low, I have evaporator. We can say
What about the wood? Where do you store the wood then?
the wood is always air dried. It has to be stacked. If you want, I can show you how the wood is stacked, and we this is all kind of I am having and stacking.
That's beautiful.
So this I have bought this tops around 15 years back.
Oh. So yeah, speaking of which, does the age of the top matter? Does the age of the wood when it
Yes,
was?
yes, definitely. Not the age we can say, but the humidity, moisture content of the wood matters.
Ah,
If it is more aged, the moisture content eventually goes down naturally rather than forcing it.
so
So
that's preferable.
yeah, that is preferable. I use tone woods at least 5 to 6 years old, which have been seasoned in my workshop because acclimatization, we call it acclimatization. Sorry for that. So wood should get acclimatized to your workshop temperature and climate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, now there are some interesting questions before we move on to the future of, Indian guitar building or
Yeah,
the
sure.
guitar industry here. Um, so, do you prefer working with young players or seasoned professionals?
I like to work with everyone. There is
That's
no kind of
that's
we
great.
can say personal choice because see, young generation have different methodologies. We get given new ideas, and with the seasoned player, we get a good experience to hear what kind of sound he is looking for. Benefit of working with seasoned player is that they specifically want that specific tone, and with new generations or with the beginners, not with the new generation, I am saying with the beginner, they are not very clear what kind of tone they are looking for. But I like
Absolutely.
to work with both the generations.
That's lovely. It's you are a versatile builder because
Yes,
I know
yes.
some builders who may just want to work with very concert artists or very selected.
No, no, no. I don't prefer that. There is
Yeah.
no preference.
Um, Now what is the biggest myth of handmade guitars? Like people might say that, oh, handmade guitars are too delicate, they break easily, or what is the biggest myth in your opinion? What have you heard that?
Biggest myth is that people wants everything to be handmade. So few things. So see, few things. Previously, it was definitely fully handmade guitar, but we do use power tools. We do use automated CNC machines sometime to get slotting the fretboard. And see, in a handmade guitar, you have to plane down the soundboard by hand planer. But getting the typical thickness by hand, same thickness or uniform thickness over a soundboard is not possible. So for that, I have imported a machine from China. I will show you that.
Yeah.
So this is the drum sander. Can you see this machine? That's blue gray machine.
Does it do the leveling of the wood, isn't it?
Yeah, so it does the sanding of the wood to a uniform thickness. If suppose I want, sorry, if suppose I want uniform 2.2 thickness, so it can be sanded to a certain level. So this is the biggest myth that people think that each and everything is handmade. No, we do use power tools. We do use, no doubt, hand tools are also used. But sometimes I also use CNC machine for carving soundboard. So, have you heard of CNC router?
I think that we do have a woodworking workshop.
Yes, yes. See, this is a CNC router machine. So we do use you make intricate inlays or slotting of fretboard where precision is important. So it gives 0.01 mm level of precision into a guitar.
Amazing.
So definitely we do use machines. That is the biggest myth that people think that no power tools are used.
That's nice. So now when you discuss with the client, he might have certain sounds he wants. So he has a description of his sound. I want a piano sound. I want a warm
Mhm.
sound. I want a punchy sound. What do you do to translate that into your build? Like do you have a process? Okay, if he's telling punchy, then we go for this spruce.
Yes, yes, yes. There are a lot of different permutations and combinations
Exactly.
for getting that kind of sound. So, for as I said initially, that we just try to understand the player's taste or what kind of sound. Then we decide the tone wood according to his budget also. So, for punchy sound, we need spruce. For warm sound, as I said, we use cedar top or Engelmann spruce. There, as I said, lots of permutation combinations. So, there is no specific wood that contribute to the sound.
Right. So we are just coming to the end of this lovely discussion,
Okay.
and so yeah, this is a very vague question, but I mean it's a pretty obvious question also. Is price a great indicator of the quality? Can cheap guitars have good quality? You know,
Yeah, see, price and quality goes hand in hand.
isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
directly proportional.
Yes.
If you are using a good quality of material, so definitely it will cost a lot of fortune to me.
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
is the most misunderstood thing the guitarists say when they are describing the sound? They have certain thing in mind which is maybe impossible to achieve as a builder. So what is the most misunderstood thing? Like maybe they think that guitars have a truss rod or not. Sometimes they
Yes,
don't.
yes, yes.
Uh,
So, not a misconcept. Actually, people are not well informed by the shows. So, on that is a very sad situation. Actually, lots of um, mass-produced guitar factories don't mention proper technical terms on their website.
ah,
So, yeah, I will give you a one example. So, this is a classical guitar I'm building for one of my friend. This is spruce top guitar, and these are laminated back and sides, isn't it? So it is a very basic guitar. It is not very costly. It's around 12,000 rupees. But when a manufacturer is selling you plywood, they should specifically mention you that it is a laminated wood.
exactly.
I have never seen any manufacturer mentioning that this wood is laminated. They will say that it is spruce top guitar, sapili backhand side, or rosewood backhand side, and mahogany thing, and a lot blah blah blah. But when they are using solid top, they will specifically maintain that this guitar is been a solid top has been used in
It's
the guitar.
misleading. It's
So
misleading, isn't it?
that is it is misleading. Lots of factories are not giving proper details and they are just misleading the people and they are taking advantage of their brand name. There is, in classical there is a very popular brand as well as a popular model, but they are using very cheap quality of wood. I will show you an example. So people just ask why handmade guitars are costly or why luthier made guitars are costly than factory made guitars. So this is a fretboard. Can you see?
Yeah.
Kind of why I will come to a point that why factory made guitars are cheaper and why handmade guitars are costly, because first point is the quality of the material
Ah.
and it influences your sound, because we are using good quality, good density of a material, so it is definitely costly wood. So this is fretwood used by lots of manufacturers. You can see figure, it is not straight, the figures are weird, and this fretboard costs for 35 rupees.
Oh.
And this is, and we use this kind of rosewood,
Straight
and
grain.
it is very straight grain, fully quarter cut.
Yeah.
It costs around 300 rupees for us.
Yeah.
When they are using neck, they are using very cheap quality of neck. We luthiers throw it away. They are using 80 rupees neck. Our neck is minimum 600 to 700 rupees.
Exactly. And
The fret wire.
this obviously
Sorry.
affects the, you know, the efficiency of the sound, the
The
quality of the,
efficiency, the longevity,
yeah,
as well as tone of a
the
guitar. If
sustain. Yeah.
the sustain, yeah. So cheap guitars, people don't know what to see or what to buy. The
Absolutely.
see in shops, it is a responsibility of a shop owner to tell people how to maintain the guitar or what kind of wood is used. But their business model is different than my business model. My intention is to make good guitars. Their intention is to sell good guitars at good point. So my primary motive is to build guitars, good guitars, we can say. So that's why they you won't find my guitars easily in shops. I have never made any tie with any shop. All it's D2C only. I'm working now, and all of my clients are referential clients. I don't want good number of guitars. I want good quality of guitars.
Quality over quantity. Yeah.
Yes, I always prefer quality over quantity.
So now, you know, we're just coming to the end again.
Mm.
And if you weren't, it's a personal question. If you weren't a luthier, what would you be?
I don't know. Might be. See, my personal preference was to become a doctor. So again, it's a weird
Yeah.
liking. So I wanted myself to be a doctor. But as I said, there were only two options: medical and engineering at that time. I was not scholar in my marks or in school. I was not at good, not at getting good marks. So eventually, landed for the engineering. So I wanted myself to be a doctor. People are trying to become influencers. People are trying to be. There are lots of options of professions have been opened up. There are lots of things to do nowadays. But
I see.
around 20, 25 years back, 25 years back, more than 25 years back, we
Yeah.
were having only two professions, engineering, medical, and if you are not good at both of them, you can be a lawyer. So I have done all these things.
When you build a guitar,
Mm.
how long do you think it will last? You know, like, do you have a vision that 300 years or four, like how Stradivarius, he still has his violins?
Yes,
Um,
yes, yeah, good
so,
question. Yes, Stradivarius guitars are still in working condition.
yeah,
So, as I said, the longevity of the instrument is depend on the quality of the material, and quality of the build quality also is important. So there are guitars which are more than 100, years old, and they are still in working good condition. So I can't predict actually, but at least minimum 100 years. I can't say about my guitars how much they will last. But again, the longevity of an instrument is depend on the maintenance of an instrument of a guitar. If you maintain the humidity of the guitar, the action won't change a lot. The hygroscopic, as I said, hygroscopic nature of a wood, you have to keep a guitar in 45 to 60% humidity. If you follow all these instructions, there is no limit for that how long it will last. But if you are abusing it, so definitely it will be having a lesser time.
I see. That's beautiful. I mean, 100 years is still a long, very long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I mean, Mr. Waghmare, it was absolutely a delight to speak with you.
Same here, same here.
Thank you so much for all the engaging and informative discussions and showing us around your
It's
workshop.
my pleasure
Uh,
actually. Many people don't know what is guitar building. So at
exactly.
least this will create some curiosity. At least
Yes.
people will come to know, or at least people will not negotiate with me why your guitars are costly. I
Yes.
am not saying negotiating in the way, in the meaning of money, but at least people should understand why handmade guitars take time and why handmade guitars are costly.
Absolutely. You know, it's a laborious process and it's a labor of love.
Yes, yes,
So,
yeah, it's all about love and interest.
yeah. So, thank you so much for showing us around your workshop, revealing all your secrets, if I may say.
Not all, but I
Uh,
have revealed many of them.
yeah. So, thank you so much. And
Same here, my pleasure.
please, to all the viewers, please do contact Mr. Waghmare on his website, Aqualib Guitars,
Guitar, yeah.
and he would be happy to discuss with you. And also, I think you are also building scalable guitars. For example, classical guitars, but for beginners, isn't it?
Yes, yes, I have started building beginner guitars also. But again, my guitars are not very cheap, as I said,
Yeah.
because lots of labor is involved in it. Also, good quality of material is involved in it. People say that we get good guitar in 2000 rupees. from Calcutta, but they are just toys. They are not guitars.
Exactly.
In Luthiery. So they look like a guitar, but they don't sound like a guitar.
Yeah, they're just a box.
Yeah, it is just a wooden box,
Yeah.
and strings are attached to it. That's why it is giving sound, but it is not a proper sound of a guitar.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope we
My
meet again
pleasure.
soon.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Lovely talking
Okay.
with you. Yeah.
See you.